Howdy fellas, this is Frankie Dave back here again, another YouTube. Uh, Here I have another warship build I done, made from scratch. Before I share the model with you all, I'd like to say something about the model and its history. First of all, we'll start about the history. This model I built in a scale of 1/350 is the USS West Virginia, BB-48. I modeled her at her appearance at Pearl Harbor December 7th, 1941. The paint schedule on this ship, which the old war was a 5D with the exception of the USS Arizona, which was 5S. Measure 5D is a real dark gray. It's almost like that of hot rod primer. All fire control stations from the funnel line on top are all pale gray. Her primary weapons, guns were 8 14-inch guns. She had a total of 15 5-inch 24 casement guns. The casement guns can't be elevated. They rotate and they just they're trained port and starboard during battle. She had on a boat deck, she had exactly 10 5-inch 38 open mount guns. They can elevate up to 40 degrees. On top of the main mast, the cage mast, she had 4 bird bath 50 caliber machine guns. On turret number 3, she had 2 Chancelot SP2U Kingfisher observation planes. December 7th, 1941, the West Virginia took more torpedo hits and high-level bombing hits than any battleship at Battleship Row. She was outboard from the USS Tennessee. The first 4 fish that hit her on her port side, she started to do like the Oklahoma, started to turn turtle. They counter-flooded the starboard side so she could see evenly to the seabed. Pearl Harbor was only 35 feet deep at that time. The time the ship was flooded all the way down to the seabed. From the freeboard of the deck to the water's edge was only about 2 feet, so virtually you could just jump up without getting your head wet. Right after Pearl Harbor, she was taken to Puget Sound and refitted out. Her main cage mast was removed, and a new fire control superstructure that was made in place of the cage mast. Her forward cage mast fire control section remained throughout the war. In 1959, she was scrapped. The USS Maryland, which was her sister ship, was only 2 class ships. It was the Maryland class, the Maryland and West Virginia, with only 2 battleships that were built during the Washington Treaty Program in 1921. The Washington Treaty Program consists of nations building battleships. If one nation had more battleships than the other nation, you could do better. And she was launched in 1921, scrapped in 1959. The model here represents her in 1941, December 7th. Again, we're in the 5D measure, built from Edward Westwester plans. I built this exactly 8 years ago. This is the smallest ship model I have in my fleet. It would be the last. 1/350 is kind of small for me. Way too small. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And all made out of paper. No aftermarket parts at all. Cage mast is made from fuse wire. I used a jig to make up the mast. Excuse me. Using Cryolite glue, I glued fuse wire to the jigs. And the masts were painted, airbrushed. This is a full hull model. I did something a little different. Once the hull was built, using 5-minute epoxy by Devlon. I epoxied the whole hull and used Bondo glazing putty to fill in imperfections and sand, prime sand, until the model was completely imperfection free and painted. The decks are all cardstock, scribed with a metal rule. I made the ship's boats using a vacuum form machine, using a wooden plug. The OS2U observation planes were made from cardstock, tubing, mounted on a wooden baseboard. Here, I'd like to present to you my USS Maryland BB-48. This is how she appeared in 1941. This, sir, folks, in all her splendor. She's a very majestic battleship. Those cage masts right there make the model. A battleship of that era was a very romantic ship to be served on. Get a little closer so you can see the cage mast, folks. This thing is detailed. I probably got at least over 3,000 parts on this thing. The 14-inch guns are all rolled tubing. And I think they rotate. They do. There's all your casement guns. There's the OS2U Kingfishers. The 4 screws. You can see the casement guns in this area here. When she was being torpedoed by Type 97 Kate torpedo bombers, when this ship counterflooded and sunk to the seabed, she was taking torpedo hits, believe it or not, on the casement deck right here. High-level bomb hits were fore and aft. This is a very highly detailed model. It's probably one of my best work for a while. And I think you all like it out there. It's one of my favorites. I enjoy sharing it with you. And I have many more builds just like this. But when it comes to scale 1/350, seems like a pretty normal scale for ship model builders. I've seen a lot out there at hobby shop, but one of these I never have. I don't think they make a model of the West Virginia or the Tennessee. The Arizona, they do. They make a lot of those. I've got a scratch built Arizona down there in my finished basement. It's 8 feet long. Too big to view on YouTube, so when I get my web camera, take it down below and give you the cook's tour. And Hands of Time was giving me another minute or two if they shut me off, so I'd like to be able to say my goodbyes before I have to go, sign off. But first of all, I'd like to thank everybody, all your viewers out there who are tuning in. And Nigel, Alex, Baghead, all you guys are the greatest. Thank you very much for your replies, your comments. You make me quite welcome here on YouTube. And I'm getting better as I go along. And I'm really enjoying myself here. This YouTube jazz is like a new toy to me, and you don't know how much I enjoy this. And my best enjoyment of all is all you fellows out there commenting on my collections. And like I said again, it means a lot to me. Not too many things make me happy, but you guys make me very happy by your comments. And I feel that my worth and my models mean something. So I'd like to thank everybody. And God bless. And thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe. And bye-bye, fellas. Next time.